Hey, and good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Greg Majeski here on the Weather Nerds YouTube page. I'm doing a live update for the weather going on for this upcoming weekend. So, folks along the eastern seaboard, get ready for an active weather weekend as we're going to see areas in Florida that's going to be impacted on Saturday, kind of reaching up to the mid-Atlantic as we head into Sunday, and then finally into the Northeast as we head into this upcoming Monday. So it's going to take 3 days for this thing to clear on through, and it's going to be a humdinger of a storm the way it appears, especially as it approaches up into New England, heading into this weekend. Now, taking what we're currently seeing across the area that we're kind of watching, we've got some things. In the early stages of development right now. We're waiting for an area of low pressure. It's going to be forming down here out into the Gulf of Mexico. There's some energy here this in the southern plains. It's kind of moving in this general direction. And then there's an upper level feature that's also going to come in from here as this low pressure starts to track up toward the north and east. So, and once that all comes together, it is going to be strengthened pretty rapidly as the jet streams kind of phase together, and we see the pressure really drop off on the storm. Both the European and the GF models are kind of showing this now. It is a little bit more of an eastern track, so it's going to be a very heavy rainmaker, especially all up and down the Atlantic from Florida, stretching all the way up into New England. Kind of see this on the satellite imagery here for tonight as we're seeing, again, just the clouds kind of spreading along the Gulf Coast right now. Things not looking too bad here as we're seeing those clouds just kind of streaming in across the Gulf and coming into the Florida peninsula right now. You kind of see the low pressure system kind of spreading back over here right now and spreading those showers here with that frontal system through there. But again, we're in the early stages of this. This is really going to take off, especially as we head into tomorrow. There is going to be a severe weather component for this, especially for areas down into Florida. That's where we do have a slight risk for severe weather. Mainly going to be strong, heavy, gusty winds. That's going to be the big thing. There is a tornado threat. Could not rule that out, to say the least. But again, the tornado risk is going to be fairly low. I'm going to light up these categories for you. So, you're looking there at about a 5% chance there of tornadoes. That's it, kind of in that brownish area there, 2% on the green on the edge. The wind is going to be the big factor here, folks. As you can see this, about a 15% chance of seeing some very gusty winds there from about Orlando coming down toward the Florida Keys. With the potential there for some of that severe weather. So this is on day one of the storm. We're talking basically going into Saturday with the storm there with that outlook. So now, as far as what we're seeing, as far as any watches or anything out there currently, really the main thing is going to be it's going to be the flash flooding concern right now. Right now, you get some flash flood watches that are currently sitting up into areas up toward the north, mostly into areas of New Jersey. Those areas you see there in yellow, this is where we're seeing the flash flood watches, and I suspect we're going to see a lot more yellows here populating this zone right through here, as we're going to be seeing some very heavy rainfall that's going to be falling through this area. And I'm going to show you that in the model data here in just a second, showing where this heavier precipitation is going to be falling as we go through the next 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and finally Monday into the Northeast. So it's got some long life, to say the least, on this. Now, currently where the rain's falling of any significance is going to be increasing down here toward Florida. I couldn't help but notice that there's a lot of storm spotters already kind of getting into pre-position down there right now. You can kind of see that right now as I kind of show you that. You see these little icons right in here. Those are the areas where you're going to see the potential there for they're kind of getting there because that's where they kind of think where maybe the tornado threat might be there across areas of central Florida right through here. So you see all the storm spotters in there getting ahead of the storm, and they'll be reporting their activities as we head through the day on Saturday. So I've already got my two level 2 radars already set up here for Orlando. I've got it all set up here as well as areas down here toward the south, getting down toward Miami. As you can kind of see these showers that are kind of inundating down there. It's been real breezy pretty much all day today for areas there across Florida. It's been pretty breezy to say the least, because a pretty strong pressure grid between high pressure to the north and this lower pressure to the south. I was trying to see if I can see any of my live weather cams here. There's the Miami airport right now as it currently stands. And one thing's for sure, by the way, any travelers for this weekend, I don't think Saturday will be too bad, except for maybe down in Florida. But areas heading up in from Atlanta up into the Northeast, going into Sunday and Monday, I think the travel delays could be quite significant because of this impending weather that's going to be moving up that way. So make sure you check ahead with your carriers and check on that. Now, right now, the airports are looking pretty good. And these are the major hubs here, and you can kind of go to the FCC website to check this. But everybody's green right now for Friday, so looking pretty good for travelers on Friday. But like I said, these areas are going to change as we go through the weekend with the storm moving up toward the north and east. So couldn't rule out Atlanta seeing some delays as we get late on Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham getting in, and then the entire northeast corridor going into Monday. Could see significant travel delays going into Monday as the storm system begins to get cranking and moving up the eastern seaboard for the weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at the really kind of the first day of this storm. We're going to focus here on the southeast here right now. We're going to take a look at the model data here. Let me switch over to my interactive mode here so I can kind of track you through this here as we go through this upcoming weekend. So this is the NAM model here, the last run, the North American model run here. And let me get over to this one. I'll probably have to go into this one here. And we'll interact here, and now we'll go ahead and step you through this here. All right, it's going to give me problems. So let's go ahead and switch over to back over here real quick so I can do a reset mode there for that particular model. So let me go ahead and I want to show this model here. Sometimes I have to do a refresh on this, so I'm going to refresh it. And we're going to step you through this model here, and we'll just start with the national perspective here. And let me make sure I can go through this real quick. And it looks like, yeah, we can move through it. All right, so we're going to go to the national perspective here, taking a look here at what we're seeing here as we go into Saturday morning, okay? All right, so the big thing is going to be watching this low develop and start to kick out toward the north and east here. So again, you kind of see the low down here here in the Gulf. You got this energy here, and you got some of this upper energy. It's also going to slide in this way. So we're going to watch as things kind of come together. They're going to come into phase, and the storm system is going to strengthen as we go through this upcoming weekend. So let me go back here to my interactive here so I can step you through this again. Going in. This is the latest GFS model run. So I'm just going to take you through right through Monday on this storm. So again, as we go through the day here, this is the noon hour, and then as we get into the late afternoon hours, that's when things will kind of go downhill for areas there across Florida. You see all the heavy showers and thunderstorms there kind of pulling into that area. So areas here across the Florida Peninsula from Orlando down toward areas of Key West will be of big concern as the storm begins to move up toward the north and east slowly. Not in a real big hurry, that's for sure, as we go through the day. So let's go ahead and continue to step this through as we go into Saturday night. So we're going into Saturday night as this continues to move up to the north and east. The pressure steadily falling at 998 millibars. Some very heavy rains there across areas of the Georgia coast and heading up into the Carolinas, down to 996 millibars as this continues to move to the north and east. Also notice what's going on back behind this again. You can kind of see this a little bit. You got some cold air that's starting to get tapped and kind of pull in. It's going to pull in behind this area of low pressure. So the eastern third is going to get a nice cold shot back behind this area of low pressure as it moves up toward the north and east. So I'm going to step you through this again very steadily here. And you're watching that pressure falling down to 984 millibars as it comes into heading into Monday morning. So this is Monday morning. I want to back this up a little bit again. Going in throughout the day on Sunday. So we're going to go back to Sunday morning again. So Sunday morning, we're coming through the coastal areas. We're talking about the Carolinas on Sunday and stretching up throughout the day, going into Virginia as we go in late in the day. So the areas there, that's going to be the main concern for some very heavy rains across this area. Notice the lines of equal pressure there. Those are called isobars. And when you get them kind of tightly packed, if I get my mouth to work here, that's when you know you got a pretty good wind field with this around this area of low pressure as this continues to move off toward the north and off toward the east. So again, that pressure continues to fall down to 981 millibars. Now, I will say that the earlier European model today was a little bit stronger with this, but still a pretty potent low pressure system at 981 millibars. So that's a pretty low pressure there. And you're noticing that cold air really screaming in behind this across the Great Lakes, and it's kind of swinging in behind that area of low pressure. It's going to be a big rainmaker, folks. That is for sure. As this continues to move up, drops to 978, and you're seeing some snows kind of wrapping around this across the Great Lakes as we head into late in the day on Monday, and then it finally exits with that cold air settling into the northeast, heading into Tuesday morning on that model run there. All right, I'm going to switch over to the European model. I want to show you the precipitation total from that one. As I step you through this, you can see where this heavier rains are going to fall here across the day. So you're looking here. This is into Sunday morning. You're seeing there Sunday noon. You see a lot of areas from almost the entire state of Florida covered here with some heavy rains, and then it stretches up into the mid-Atlantic and then into the northeast. So by the time we head to late in the day on Tuesday or Monday, look at just the extent of this very heavy rain, 3+ inches of rain. So we're talking about some areas here with some flooding going to be a problem here, basically from New England. I'll clear that out real quick. New England stretching all the way down to the southeast Georgia coast and all the way up here. So we're going to talk about some very heavy rains. It's going to be a big part of this. We're going to see wind advisories and high wind warnings. Would not shock me, especially for areas across New England and stretching down to the mid-Atlantic. As that pressure really starts to drop, the winds are really going to howl, and it's a pretty extensive wind field, I believe, as this system cracks up into the northeast as we head into Sunday and into Monday for the northeast. So again, breaking that down. So you're talking about this area here on Saturday, this area in here on Sunday, and then finally the northeast heading into Monday. So we got 3 days to track this very strong area of low pressure that's coming in. Not a blizzard, thank God, nothing like that, but we are going to look at a flooding threat and high rain threat. Would not shock me in the least if we get some power outages, especially across the mid-Atlantic and the northeast with some of these higher gusts coming in there. And like I said, there's probably going to be a likelihood of a lot of travel delays going in over the weekend on Sunday and as well on Monday as going into this upcoming weekend. So folks need to get prepared for this. This is going to be a pretty potent storm system. I plan on doing continued updates on this throughout the weekend. Kind of my first test drive here on the Weather Nerds YouTube page of doing live updates as we watch a pretty strong storm system. So for anybody coming back to check this live broadcast in its recorded form, if you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, that way you're kind of alerted for future updates. The big thing for me, if I want to do these kind of live updates, is I've got to get my subscriber base higher than what it currently is, which is coming up on 800, not bad. And hopefully we can do more live coverage for you as we go into the next year for the upcoming season. Obviously, we'll see if we get any decent winter storms this winter and see if we're going to get any severe weather, obviously, as we head into the spring and then hurricane season going into the summer. So that is your update for now, guys. If you could, again, please just share with your friends. Get everybody notified. Anybody up and down the eastern seaboard. Christmas decor, anything, trash cans, anything windy that the winds can blow around, please secure as we go into this upcoming weekend, especially Sunday and Monday of the weekend. All right, that's your update for now. You guys take it easy. We will have another live update coming your way tomorrow morning. I plan on doing one tomorrow morning around 8:30ish or so, and then we'll continue with a couple more throughout the day on Saturday as we'll be tracking Zone 1. We'll track that severe weather down in the Florida Peninsula as we go through late tomorrow afternoon. All right, that's your update for tonight. You guys take it easy. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.